Hey, what's up guys, it's MugenLord here, and as you see the title, I was giving private access from Hoyoverse themselves to their upcoming action RPG called Zenless Zone Zero, and it's all thanks to you guys for making this possible. So I really couldn't say nothing because I was under NDA for the past couple of weeks, but now content creators are allowed to essentially give their thoughts and opinions and impressions on it. So before we dive into the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell for more gaming content here on this channel. So we're going to dive into it right now. For starters, the story takes place in a city called Eridu, which has essentially been hit by a hollow zone, and no one knows how this hollow zone happened to appear, but it pretty much sucked everything inside and destroyed everything around this city, which caused the government and its people to move away from the zones to rebuild civilization known as New Eridu. Where I say the story protagonist is a brother and sister tag team duo. They go by the name or code name Pathan, which they're pretty much proxies, and their names is Wise and Bell. Now, proxies are essentially, I guess you would say, tech support for Hollow Raiders. Now, Hollow Raiders are people who actually go inside these zones when you're not supposed to pretty much loot, find all kinds of resources, goods, and even rescue people from within these zones itself. And you need a proxy to help you pretty much essentially navigate through these hollow zones. And Pathan, the brother and sister tag team duo, they are pretty much well-known proxies within the proxy community. Now, the Hollow Raiders themselves, we follow a team called the Cunning Hares, which the three characters is named Nicole, who is the leader, Billy the Kid, and Ambi, and they pretty much got in a scuffle with this other raider group known as the Red Fangs, and they essentially had stole this item called the Strongbox, and this is where the story had pretty much centered around this particular item. Now, I won't spoil the details because you can try the game out for yourself when it officially comes available, but everything revolves around the Strongbox and the mystery itself. Now, as far as the Hollow itself, there's creatures within the Hollow called the Ethereals, which are essentially human beings, because if you stay within the Hollow zone for too long, you pretty much turn into the Ethereals. Now, there are some people who are born with high resistance to it, so the higher your resistance is, the longer you can stay and raid these zones. Now, as far as exploration is concerned, which a lot of you guys are probably curious about, the game takes place within New Eridu itself. This is where pretty much your hub world takes place, where you grab all your commissions known as quests, and you pretty much get a chance to know different clients and build relationship with different NPCs that pop up during different times of the day, which you can set in the schedule. So it's always a mystery each day when you go to sleep and wake up. There's always something new that's going on within the city itself, which I find pretty cool. Now, you also have this social media network called Internet. This is for proxies. This is a proxy community where other proxies come together to talk about the latest information and news as far as the government agency is concerned, because being a proxy in a Hollow Raider is essentially illegal. So people want to get to know the information in the news about what's going on and what to look out for as a proxy. Here you will also get a ton of different quests, meet new clients to partake in as you go in the Hollow Zone. Now, speaking of gameplay, this is essentially important because there's two forms of gameplay here. You have your Hollow, or I guess you say your proxy gameplay, and then you also have your Hollow Raider gameplay. Now, starting with the proxy gameplay, you essentially have to use your proxy, which is whatever protagonist you use, either Belle, the sister, or Wise. In this case, I select Wise. Now, essentially what happens is, as a Hollow, as I said before, you have to be the tech support. You have to guide the Hollow Raiders through the Hollow Zones, because the Hollow Zones are known for constantly randomizing itself and changing its location. And they have this data called a carrot, which is a collection of data to help pinpoint the exit of these Hollow Zones, or to pinpoint, resources and pinpoint people within these zones. And you pretty much travel among the Hollow Zone, and you run into, I guess you say, random battles, which takes you into the other gameplay mechanic known as the Hollow Raid battles, where you play as the Hollow Raiders, which you pretty much choose with agents, which you can choose a trio, and you select them. And what happens is, as you go through these different zones, you battle various different ethereals. Sometimes you have to battle the agency, the government agency themselves, and many different kind of robots and security guards, which I think is pretty awesome, which gives you that variety and everything. Now, as far as the battle is concerned, it's very fast paced, and it requires you to pretty much get your timing down pat, because once enemies attack, they flash a certain color, and then depending on what color they flash, you type or you tap the left button or the right button, because you can use your controller on this as well, and you can pretty much call your assist out, and your partner will come out and parry attack, and it switches to your party member, and you can use them. And what I find interesting, or I find pretty fun, is how powerful you feel. The fast-paced combos, the colors, the vibrance of the sparks and the explosions as you fight your opponent. But the goal is to constantly tag and switch your agents back and forth, and certain agents complement each other depending on their moveset and what skills that they essentially have, to pretty much chain attacks and combos to get a high score, which I think is also pretty cool. And you can launch off fancy special attacks, which are your EX moves. That looks really awesome as well. Now, as far as your agents are concerned, you have to pretty much utilize the gacha system that they have in the game, and which pretty much is a roulette, and you don't know what kind of agent you will get, but you need a resource known as tapes or mastery tapes. And depending on the rank, because there's a schedule that show you what rank enable you to unlock certain agents, and pretty much you got to test your luck. And in my case, I got lucky. I rolled and got 3 different agents back to back, which was pretty awesome. And I went crazy, which at that point it essentially got me hooked from there on out. And also you get bang boos within this system as well, and these bang boos are pretty much your assistants, your helpers, that essentially can pretty much strike enemies, or also, I guess, heal you and give you different status effects as well. I chose the sumo bang boo, which they essentially slams and hit the ground and stun the enemies and allow me to capitalize on my enemies as well, which I thought was pretty cool. And then, of course, you can level up your agents, finding different resources within the game by destroying certain enemies, completing various different quests. And then you also have the VR missions that also help you grind out the different resources to level up your characters. Now, there's 2 different kinds of levels. You have your proxy levels, and then you have your agent levels. Your proxy levels essentially by completing various different quests as your proxy to gain and level up your proxy. And once you do that, you're able to pretty much unlock or break that limit as how far your agents can go. And as you level up your characters, you have to be wise with your resources, because they're very limited, and you have to do some grinding is involved, and there's other means of access to be able to get these different resources, but you have to really think about what your favorite raider is before going and trying to level everybody, because it's definitely not possible with the resources you have unless you do a lot of grinding. And then, of course, you have other type of features. You can go explore and play the arcade that they have inside New Eridu as well, which they have various fun different games. You also have rallies. Rallies are special zones within the Hollow Zone, which is called Hollow Zero, where they're pretty much long maps of difficult challenges that you have to complete by defeating different ethereals, and then you have to fight a hard ethereal at the end, which is very hard, and it's very challenging. I found myself putting myself to the test and choosing the right combination of agents going into a particular mission, which I think is pretty cool, and I believe you'll find a lot of fun in that. And of course, you have your dailies every time you log into the game. You get special money, perks, sometimes tapes, and then your brother and sister team also has a movie rental place where you can actually set up shop, and you can pretty much buy different movies for customers to come in. And when you buy these particular movies that draw in this crowd, they also earn you more money and resources, and potential clients that will actually give you more commissions to pretty much level up your proxy level and to pretty much level up your agents as well. And there's a ton of different things that you can essentially do in this game, and I love the agents, especially Nicole. There's something about that girl, man. I love her intro. It's just, she has this sensual movement to her, and how she gazes and look into the camera and look into your eyes as you move. I just think it's really cool, and the characters are really well animated, very expressive, and I think that's where it's going to be the draw of this game, is the characters. And I grew attachment to these characters. I love these characters, and every character has their distinct personality, and their outfits give away of how distinct that they are. But essentially, overall, I enjoyed the game, enjoyed every last bit of it, and that essentially wraps up this video. If you have any questions, definitely leave your thoughts in the comment sections below. If you have questions, I'll try my best to my ability to answer them, and I will try not to spoil or won't spoil anything for you guys. But once again, I want to thank you guys for the support, for allowing me to have this opportunity to play this game. This is MugenLord signing off. I see you game fiends later. Peace out.